Spotlight on Frazee is sponsored by these community-minded businesses and organizations. United Community Bank, an independent family-owned and operated bank committed to empowering customers to achieve their financial goals. Member FDIC. Frazee Family Foods, what a hometown grocery store should be. Friendly staff, family-owned, and a wide variety of groceries to fulfill your needs.
Welcome to Spotlight on Frazee. I'm your host, Hank Ludke. I'm here at Frazee High School with Assistant Principal Nick Courneya. Hi, Nick.
Hi, Hank. Thanks for having me.
Well, it's always great to have you on the show and see what's happening here at FHS and how the Hornets are doing. And, you know, since you're involved in the athletics end a lot, too.
Yeah, correct. There's, we wrapped up for the most part here. 90% of our fall activities have wrapped their seasons up. They had a great fall. Mm-hmm. Our swimming and diving is still active. We have one girl that's competing in that. Faith Ham is, and they have their sections coming up a week from this Saturday. So their season it gets a little long and wearing on them. That's a tough activity. I always say if you want to torture me, throw me in a pool. So I give credit to anyone that goes out for swimming. So she's got that coming up. But wrapping up, look at this fall, our cross country program. We just had our banquet last night. Coach Nagel put it on, and we had a strong our boys this year, and we knew coming in that they would have a strong showing. There was 26 teams competing in the section. They placed third. The boys did. We had one qualified. Nathan Johannesson qualified individually. And that third place showing that was behind teams of East Grand Forks and Perm.
They got a lot of kids.
They got a ton of kids. Perm is they were again back at least 3 years now here state champs. They were state champs again. So our boys are right in the mix. And cross country coming out. It's a 2-class system. They are moving to a 3-class system. So it'll be interesting to see where Frazee sits once that 3-class system gets established. And I might put our boys and girls in a better position as a team and as a school and community where they fit in on that. Volleyball had a strong season. They had some great seniors in there that made an exciting season for our whole volleyball program. That's led by Coach Tabia Bachman, and they had a good upset up in there against Barnesville in the quarterfinals and the semifinals. They ran into number 1 Wadena, and that went 4 sets. Yeah, it was good competitive volleyball where Wadena, ended the season for our girls, but boy, they made it a fun fall for everybody. And hats off to Coach Bachman and all the coaches and those girls. And then our football, we ended the season 5-5, losing to Pelican in the semifinals, and that was a back and forth game. Either team could have went on to the Fargo Dome. Pelican edged us out, and there was a lot of factors in that game that we were in control of that we just didn't take advantage of. And Pelican come out on top, but a great year for those guys. It's fun. I tell you, in any activities you get, in football 4-4, 5-3, 3-5. That's a fun fall for activities, being competitive, and all around. When you list those activities, it was competitive and everyone had fun.
Well, I know it's great, and like you said, it makes a big difference on your coaching, having the coaching staff you have too.
Correct. Yep. You know what? We have a full staff. They are excited, motivated. And eager to learn, and they're having fun with the kids, and and that's ultimately what the Minnesota State High School League is. They want to promote our activities for kids to be involved in, learn life lessons, and have fun on top of it. And our coaches are providing that for them, which is, I'm in debt to them for doing that for us. So,
well, it's been great, and I sure like to see it. We're gonna take a break right now. We'll be right back with Nick Courneya and talking about some other things happening here in the Hall of Fame at Frazee High School.
Spotlight on Frazee is sponsored by these community-minded businesses and organizations. The City of Frazee and Frazee Event Center, featuring a 5,000 square foot room, a built-in stage, and a full-service bar, perfect for a multitude of events. Call or click to book your event.
Welcome back to Spotlight on Frazee. I'm Hank Ludke. I'm here with Nick Courneya, the assistant principal here at Frazee High School, and we're talking a little bit about athletics, but the Athletic Hall of Fame here.
Yeah, this fall, it was mid-October here. We had our Hall of Fame celebration. It was held in the White Pine Room, and we had 5 inductees going in, which is the max amount by our bylaws. And we have there, and and that's what the committee's looked at too. Is for years to come, if we can keep getting names brought into us, they're pretty comfortable knowing that we could probably induct 5 each year for a little while yet with some of the names that are out there. But we need the community's help. And I got some other committee members too that help, but is nominating some of these names too to honor them on what they truly deserve. This fall was held, and we had some bad weather. We had that storm come through, so it was in question. We didn't have our homecoming parade where they would have been involved in, which was too bad, or they didn't get to talk to our student body, which is I miss that because it was good for our student body to always see, the adults of the students in the past, could come in and talk about their experiences. We had Adam Aho go in this year, the 1963 wrestling team, a previous coach, Eldon Bergman, Rodney Newling, and then a relative of mine, Verla Bruin Day, was married name, but she was a Bruin when she was in school. So those were our 5 new members that went in this fall, and they presented along with a person that they chose to induct them. And it was a great evening for all of the Hall of Famers. And with the weather the way it was, we were nervous. Adam Aho was coming from Bismarck, and the interstate was shut down, and he was taking all sorts of detours to get here. And he got here about 5 minutes into the celebration, so it was great that him and his family could make it.
Boy. Yeah, and like you said, it's a great thing. The kids can see when they meet these people where the programs here have came from, how things have started, and how they've gotten to this point.
Exactly. We've had, in the past, these members, they've got up for a minute or two in front of our student body and talked about, the honor that they're receiving. But what I always ask them, I go, just share your memories as being a student here and an athlete, and that you can reflect and relate to them and the importance of being in activities and working with our coaches and staff, how of an impact that was on them. And and how it helped them to be in the position that they are in. So no, that's always been a great thing. This year it couldn't happen because of the weather, but for the years to come, we're hoping that we can still maintain that, where they can interact with each other and still be honored at our celebration.
And I know too, you have this program now, where students can get into activities free.
Oh, correct. We're working on that this fall, into the winter. Families, if they fill out a free and reduced application, which our business office has, it's online. If they fill that out, students in grades 7 through 12, because there's been some communication pieces that have gotten mixed up, but students in grades 7 through 12, that is filled out, and they are in an activity, that the fee for that activity is waived. They're like trap shooting is a different entity that way. Yeah. Their fees are built a little different. Their activity fee is not waived because they're just separate from the school on that. But our other ones, the school waives as far as that student activity fee, and then they are also granted free admission into our activities. Now, if you're an elementary student, and the families fill out a free and reduced application, K through 6. Again, that free admission into activities, if they want to come and watch something, is there. But if they're involved in an elementary activity, basketball or football, if they're going to be in cross country this fall, they have wrestling coming up. Those programs are ran through the booster clubs. They're not ran through our school because they are K through 6. It's not a high school league activity. So there's fees the booster clubs assess on that, and there's been some miscommunication on that, but it's working itself out. The key is knowing if you're in elementary, you're going to have a booster fee, but you can still get into activities at no cost if that free and reduced is filled out.
Well, that's great. We're winding down here. Nick, any final comments here? I know you want to talk a little bit about winter activities.
Yeah, that's it. Winter activities, we got our dance program is up and running. Our cooperative agreement with gymnastics and Detroit Lakes is starting up next week. Girls basketball is next week, and the following week is wrestling and boys basketball. So it's and we got games here just right after Thanksgiving this month. So come out and support the kids and our coaches. As what we're looking for with these kids we had this fall. They're supporting us this winter. It's going to be a fun winter here with our activities with our students that we have involved.
Well, I appreciate you being on the program, Nick.
All right. No, I appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. And so remember, get out here and support the Hornets. Could be your grandkids, your kids, your cousins, your neighbors. Let's go Hornets. And remember to support the school in general. And we'll catch you next week on Spotlight on Frazee. Pet the dog, hug the kids, kiss the wife, and wave at the neighbor. We'll see you later.